Hello, my people. Good day to you, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whatever time zone you're listening to this, thank you for tuning in every single day to listen to me on Daily Mind Shift. My name is Michael Ojola for Mindset Transformation Africa, and on today's episode, I want to talk about the habit of talking to yourself, talking good into yourself, or talking yourself into good things. All right, let me anchor today's episode on this statement. Start the habit of talking yourself into doing good things today. Start the habit of talking yourself into doing good things today. See, today, I want you to pause for a second and think about the kinds of conversations you have with yourself every day. Not the conversations with your boss, not with your family, not with your lover, not even with your friends. I mean, the ongoing dialogue happening in your own mind, the words that you whisper to yourself in silence, the reasoning you give yourself when nobody is listening. Because whether you realize it or not, you are always talking yourself into something, either into courage or into fear, either into progress or into procrastination, either into good habits or into destructive ones. And the mind shift I want to highlight today is this: start the habit of talking yourself into doing good things. Let me start here. Your mind is like a courtroom. Your mind is like a courtroom. If you've never been to a court session before, I will advise you to try that. I've been there. So I will advise you to do that. You will learn one or two. Every decision you make goes on trial. And you are both the judge and the lawyer. You argue for or against action. You present evidence for why you should or shouldn't take the next step. And whichever side of the argument you strengthen, that is the verdict that plays out in your life. Think about it. That workout that you skipped last week, you did not just skip it. You talked yourself out of it. You gave yourself reasons why it could wait, why you were too tired, why it didn't matter, and you believed your own story. That apology that you did not make, it's the same thing. You argued with yourself. They did not deserve it. They might not receive it well. Maybe they don't care anyway. And you accepted your own case. But this is the reality I want to bring to your table. If you can talk yourself out of something, you can also talk yourself into something. You can flip the script, all right? You can rehearse a different line of reasoning that pulls you into action rather than away from it. Now, what do I mean by doing good things? See, I'm not talking about massive, world-changing acts every day. No, I'm talking about the simple, consistent, intentional choices that align with the best version of yourself. See, choosing kindness when it would be easier to be cold, getting up to do the work when your body says 5 minutes more, extending forgiveness when your ego wants revenge, making the call to encourage a friend instead of scrolling endlessly, is speaking gratitude instead of complaint. See, good things don't always look dramatic. Often they are just ordinary decisions that accumulate into extraordinary impact. And the way you start building momentum in that direction is by catching yourself in the inner courtroom and deciding, I'm going to talk myself into this, not out of it. Notice I said start the habit. Why habit? Why not just one or two things? Why habit? Because habits remove friction. They automate momentum. If you create a consistent rhythm of encouraging yourself into good action, soon you won't need to wrestle so hard to do the right thing. It will become your default. It will become almost natural to you. But just as you can build habits of progress, you can also build habits of excuses. And many of us have trained ourselves to be professional excuse makers in our own minds. We can rationalize anything. So today is about shifting that autopilot, all right? It's about rewiring that habit. It's about training your inner voice to become your coach, not your critic. These are the three key mind shifts that I want you to practice today. Number one, change your questions. All right, change your questions. Instead of asking, do I feel like doing this? I want you to ask, who will I become if I do this? Because feelings are temporary, identity is long-term. The moment you switch from emotional-based questions to character-based questions, you will find new strength to act. Do you understand me? You will find new strength to act. And number two, flip the evidence, all right? When you are tempted to talk yourself out of action, list 3 quick reasons why doing the good thing will benefit you and why it will benefit other people too. For example, if I call this person, they will feel sane. If I forgive them, I will feel better. I will feel lighter. If I finish this week or finish this task, I will have more peace later. I will have more time to do other things. Stack the evidence for action. Don't stack evidence against action. Stack evidence for action. And finally, speak it out loud. All right. Words have power. When they leave your lips, they have power. They become spell. They become a command. All right. Don't just think I should do this. Say it. I am going to do this right now. Speak it out loud. That audible declaration has a way of solidifying your intention, all right? As a way of solidifying your intent. See, this is what excites me about this habit. Good things multiply over time. See, you talk yourself into encouraging someone today, and that word may ripple into their confidence for the week. You talk yourself into saving a small amount of money today, and that decision compounds into financial peace in the future. You talk yourself into eating healthy today, and that single meal strengthens the next 5 choices you will make. Good has a ripple effect. And when you keep talking yourself into it, you set off waves that reach far beyond your own life. Do you understand me? It reaches far beyond your own life. Now, why don't most people build this habit, including you or me? Because it feels unnatural at first. It feels unnatural. It feels you are forcing it. We are so used to defaulting to comfort and excuses that speaking life into ourselves feels awkward. Because this is the truth, all right? The voice in your head is not fixed. It can be retrained. All right, it can be retrained. And like any muscle, the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Let me paint it this way. Inside each of us are 2 voices, all right? One says rest, wait, avoid, complain. The other says rise, act, serve, persist. Every day, those voices compete, and whichever one you feed will dominate. Feed the voice of excuses, and you will grow weaker. Feed the voice of encouragement on the other hand, and you will grow stronger. So when I say start the habit, I mean deliberately feeding the voice that talks you into good things. Think about the power of talking yourself into service. Maybe you see someone struggling at work. Part of you says, stay out of it. That's not your problem. That's not my business. But then you practice the habit. If I help, I will lighten their load. I will grow in compassion, and it might inspire them to help someone else. See, you talk yourself into service, and suddenly the workplace feels lighter, relationships deepen, productivity rises. That is the multiplying power of this habit. Or maybe you're holding on to resentment. Every time you see that person's name, bitterness rises in you. And your inner dialogue says, don't let it go. They don't deserve forgiveness. But you shift the script. If I release this, I'll be free. Carrying bitterness only hurts me. Forgiveness don't excuse them, it heals them. And you talk yourself into peace. Do you understand me? Or maybe you are staring at a project you've always avoided. It feels overwhelming. The excuses pile up, all right? But you practice the habit. If I start now, I'll feel momentum. If I break it down, I can handle it. 5 minutes today is better than 0. And you talk yourself into progress. So, here's the challenge I want to leave with you today. Catch yourself once today, just once. When you hear the excuses that is forming in your mind, pause, all right? And instead of talking yourself out of the good thing that is coming into your mind, argue yourself into it. Then tomorrow, do it again and again and again. And before long, it won't feel like a fight. It will feel like a flow. Let me anchor this all in one thought, all right? Your future is being built one inner conversation at a time. Don't underestimate the whispers in your own head. They are steering the direction of your life, and the good you keep postponing is only waiting on you to start